Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randall Fowler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts. Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back again. Married AF in the house. We got a special guest tonight. Finally, we got Aaron DaTaurean. DaTaurean. I thought is it DaTaurean or DaTaurean?
You said it right. Thank you so much. Because Blunt Mommy butchered my name.
Yeah, is it DaTaurean?
It's supposed to be like the Taurus, DaTaurean.
DaTaurean, yeah.
Just DaTaurean. That's all.
Yeah.
So kind of like the DeLorean.
Yes,
but with a T.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for giving me a better way to explain to my fans how to say the name. Thank you so much. I love that Aaron joke. Like, I absolutely love it.
I cannot get enough of that skit from Key and Peele. Like, oh my God. And there was actually like a, because you know, on one of them it was like Aaron and then Balake. And then I saw, there was like a billboard for like a real estate agent or something, and his name was Aaron Blake, and I would like about wrecked my car. It was like right after I'd seen that, I was like, it's Aaron Balake.
It is. It's the first time in my life that everyone's spelling my name right.
Right.
Like, I can be like Aaron, and then boom, my name is spelled right on paper. Like it's straight out the Bible. It's 5 letters.
Ding dong doesn't know how to spell Aaron. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I think that
spell it wrong all the time.
Yeah, I think Elvis's name was spelled wrong on his fucking headstone. Aaron. The Aaron part. So he's Elvis Aaron Presley.
I mean, there's a boy Aaron spelling and there's a girl Aaron spelling.
I don't know.
Like,
I would do anything to be named Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. That joke just solves everything. It solves all my problems. People put ERIN, ARRRN, AIRON. I've seen all of it.
ARRRRO.
Yeah, now they're getting it right, and I love it.
Well, I want to let everybody know all the different things that you do. Of course, Aaron is on, one of our favorite shows, Drinks with Larry. He's one of the co-hosts of that glorious show, and
it is glorious.
We love all of you guys over there.
Fucking love
Shout
that
outs
show.
to Burton, Larry, Stephanie. Brian.
Larry.
I was just with them today. Not Larry, but the rest of
Is he still sick?
Yeah. I mean, he's probably breaking it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, who's grown on me, I'm starting to become partial to old Burton. I like Burton. Dude, he's funny. I mean, everybody's funny. All you guys are the shit, but I like old Burton. There's something about Burton.
He grows on you.
That deep ass voice though, man. That son bitch got. He sounds like he's.
Takes a while, but he grows on you.
But Aaron also does stand up comedy.
Thank you.
And we've actually seen you on like some YouTube videos. There's quite a bit of you out there. If people Google you, like you got a shitload of stuff out there.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, you got
Google yourself.
Yeah,
They
say just keep working and then Google yourself later.
Well, no, we were talking earlier when we were getting ready for this to sit down with you, and Brooke was like, "Man, I always could tell from when we first met Aaron that he will hustle, like because there's so many different things that you do. You know, you teach martial arts. He's also a martial artist."
Right.
I'm an assistant instructor. I want to make sure I put that out there. Like I'm an assistant.
Well, that's still awesome, and you're still teaching kids and adults martial arts, which is fantastic.
Yeah, pretty much everybody that doesn't own the gym, I think, is an assistant.
I know. These are martial artists. Like my job is a little different. The fact that like if I'm running around talking smack, like I get beat up at my job. So it's like
that's true.
I want to make sure I'm very clear.
Right.
Well, we're gonna do our required shot real quick. Brooke,
Ooh, what you taking?
I'm doing Fireball.
Okay.
I'm gonna to be fully transparent. Brooke is not taking a shot tonight. she tied one on last night. I'm worried about her gag reflex after tying one on last night. So she's just drinking beer. So I'm going to take the brunt and I'll do a couple of shots throughout. But I don't want her to spew. So
yeah, I got white girl wasted when we recorded last night somehow.
And I haven't had Fireball
since
2000.
I'm doing a shot of beer.
Yeah, I think I had some maybe like 2 years ago. I was selling it out to Uber.
Damn, it tastes like big red gum. Tastes like I just swallowed a pack of big red gum.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like. Or you had a whole bunch of those cinnamon candies dropped in your vodka.
Yes, that's what those
melted down and then poured into your fucking gullet.
Those things are called atomic fireballs. I think that's what it's after. I think that's what isn't it?
I don't know. My arms are tingling.
I could be making it up.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Next time, baby, I'll do it with you. But it was a rough morning for me this morning.
Yeah, we had, last night we recorded Brooke's sister on, and they've never spoken ever in their life. You know, they have the same biological father, but different mothers, and basically have lived on separate coasts their whole life.
Oh, wow.
And so it's weird because they're so very similar, both very artistic, paint, art. I don't think, Kathy doesn't paint, but she does art and graphic design and things.
Photography. And
you're both into horror and gore and all that shit.
True crime.
Same mom, same dad, or?
No, we just have the same dad. It was my dad's first marriage. And then, like, it was real, you know, we didn't really.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was like, yeah. So I met her once when I was like 5. And she has another sister from my dad too. But yeah, I've never met her.
Her dad was spitting out females.
Right. So he technically has 5 daughters.
He's blasted 5 daughters. No boys. He's just blowing the girls out.
But
what about facial features? Do you guys like?
Oh, they look the same.
We do. So like I have 2 sisters, that there's 3 of us that are from my mom and my dad, and I look the most like my dad. And then Kathy, who we just share a dad, like it's eerie the similarities between us, like facial features and stuff, and like we have like the same smile pretty much, because
eyes.
It's like because that's from my dad, like, and it's crazy, like we only share one parent, but there's definitely some similarities. But
it's
just
weird how that works out.
Yeah.
I got 3 other brothers and 3 sisters from my dad. Like, we all share the same dad.
Uh-huh.
And the similarities are just freaky. I'm the baby.
Mm-hmm.
They're all like 10.
Me too.
My sister's 6 years older than me. I'm the baby.
Yep.
Well, shit, I'm still finding out about my siblings across the country from my dad. My dad has been laying the pipe since 1972 to bitches all across the U.S. I found out I had a half brother a few years ago.
That was like 10 years ago or ish, yeah.
Man, my dad had picked him up one and fucked her behind a dumpster or something.
No, it was.
My father was in the Navy.
My dad was a Marine.
Yeah. Military babies, right?
He fucked everybody. Yeah. He sure did.
Oh, real quick, Randall and Brooke, I wanted to answer the questions that your listeners asked me last time Drinks with Larry was on your show, because I didn't even know Brian and Larry were having an interview with you guys.
That's funny.
Yeah. And then they're like, can you guys answer for Aaron? And they're like, yeah, sure. I'm like, oh, this is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea.
Shit, I wonder if I've still got those.
I got them.
Oh, cool.
See? Prepared Aaron.
Yeah, I've got the new ones for tonight. Like, we got a couple people that submitted today questions about, marriage and shit like that, raising kids.
So what were they? That was like...
Okay, let's run down this real quick. First one, have I ever shit my pants? Yes, I have shit my pants before.
Uh-huh.
I took some Epsom salt. I don't know if you know, you can take Epsom salt as a laxative.
Okay.
It
Why?
adds water to your intestines.
But why'd you take it?
Were you clogged up or something? I mean, obviously he was clogged up.
Oh, okay.
Yes, definitely.
I didn't know if it was like a dare.
Yeah. No, I was doing a flush. And,
okay.
I was sitting down playing video games, and I farted, and it was all she
That's
wrote.
a wrap.
Like,
yeah. Ugh.
Damn. Yeah, you opened the floodgates. That's it. That was your fault. You opened the door. You opened it up just a crack, and that's it.
Yeah, when you have something else working against you like that, like, ooh,
I've definitely shit my pants. I'm not afraid to be honest. Like, a lot of people would be like, of course I have never. Yeah. I've never.
I'm telling you, you need to say your story on stage. That is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, I was so ill.
That barrel roll, that's hilarious.
Out the car.
Dude, I've never, man. I mean, everyone knows that feeling when you're locked up and you got to get to a shitter. Like, everyone has experienced that. But man, when it hits crunch time, you got a limit of that sphincter of when it's going to say, I'm done.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not holding no more.
The second one, how do you feel about mascots? Are they offensive? You know, like I said, we're in Cleveland. Chihuahua is, once they showed me that's the same thing like blackface, I was like, okay, all right, I get it. I understand. You know, and I have tons of Wahoo hats. So I didn't see an issue with it until somebody explained it to me, like, Aaron, that's just blackface to a different group. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll start wearing them. The other question, how you feel about the monuments, like down south?
Yes.
I'm not tripping about them because I don't own the land. Like, I guess if people are really upset, you can own the land and then get rid of it, or you can just vote it out. So if you're that pissed, you can really get together and get your democracy together and get rid of it instead of just like vandalizing. I think you should do it the right way.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean that's that's the best way for anybody to get anything done is, you know, vote, get out there and make change.
And that's how I feel. Like, don't just be upset about it. Like, go in there and get in the booth.
Well, no, that's what bothers me when people are just mad to be mad. Well, you know, and that happens to. There's so many people that way nowadays that they really don't even know why they're mad. Really, they're not mad. They just want people to think
they just want to
they're
get
mad.
Attention of like,
because if you are mad enough, you will get inspired to do something about it.
Right, the right way.
Well, that's going to lead us right into. I want to jump straight into the Nike campaign with you because we share a lot of the same feelings on that. I've got so many friends, and I'm going to do the standard white guy pre-statement. You know, instead of saying, "Oh, well, I've got black friends," I'm not going to say that. But I went to an inner city school where I was the minority, which is that was where I went to school in Huntsville, Alabama, and I loved it. My school is my shit. They're still my best friends. Most of them are black guys, but that doesn't matter. But when it comes to the Nike campaign, it's bothered me because I think it's been the most like cut down the middle way of trying to make blacks and white mad at each other. And everyone's taking the bait. Like, it's hurt me because I've seen a lot of my friends that are white offend my friends that are black. And I know they don't want to do that. And I've seen my friends that are black offend my friends that are white. Like, it's crazy. It's just nuts.
I see it, but, I see my friends. Okay, it's like I seen the black police force union, the black union or something like that. They got a group. And how they wrote a letter to Nike and was like, "Thank you, we still support you." And then I seen like another fraternal order of police write a letter to Nike and say they wouldn't buy it from them anymore.
Well, they're idiots. Whoever did that is
Nike
just
also gives them 15% military discount. Like, I love it, absolutely love it, because they have just as much freedom to say whatever they want to say as any other company.
Absolutely.
And now they kind of got them by the balls because most of the football teams are licensed by Nike. Like, the Browns are licensed by Nike.
Oh, yeah. Alabama. My boys at Alabama.
Yeah, licensed by Nike.
Yep.
I don't remember Cincinnati. They were licensed by Jordan, which is Nike.
Oh, yeah. Michigan is Nike, is Jordan. Michigan went to Jordan.
Yep.
Well, is it Oregon? The one that has all the cool uniforms? Is that Nike?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How mad are they going to get? How upset are they going to get? This is the fun part. As a comic, I got to sit back and read these current events and just really get all the jokes in while I can, because now Ford is on board.
Yep. They sure are.
I haven't seen a truck burnt up yet, and I'm waiting on these trucks to get set on fire.
No,
we own two
we're
Fords.
Ford enthusiasts. First off, whether I agreed or not, and I support Colin Kaepernick's ability to make money, I think anyone that thinks he doesn't deserve to make money, whatever you think about him politically, when you try to say someone can't make a living, you're full of shit to me, and your argument is discredited. Because him making his money, fuck, man. I mean, he can't get on a roster. He's basically been blackballed, which I'm fine with that if it's about his talent that had obviously dropped off. I'm not a GM, so I don't know, what they're doing as far as the teams that have looked at him. But it looks awfully like he's suffering from political blacklisting, obviously. Anyone that's willing to be honest.
I mean, I understand from everybody's point of view.
Yeah.
I really kind of do. Me, I also produce comedy shows. So it's like, am I going to get mad at somebody that doesn't book me for a show? No, I don't really get upset. I end up making my own show and booking myself. So it's like, I get it. The NFL's his dream. That's what he wants to do. But it might be time for him to maybe try to start a new league or, just be a part of something else.
Shit, that XFL might scoop him up.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon's new shit starting next year. If they're smart, they'll scoop his ass up and be the first starter.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of going back and knocking on Master's door. Like, that's really what I see at the end of the day. If you don't want me, that's fine. I'll go start my own stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So for the GMs and stuff that don't want to hire him, isn't a lot of it, even if it's not like a political thing, they don't want, like, kind of like how people didn't hire poor Tim Tebow. They don't want that media circus and like all that. Is that?
Yeah, but
they say that for sure.
They say that.
They say that, but all press is good press.
That's my thought too. Yeah.
What they say is that they don't want, like with Tim Tebow or Colin Kaepernick, if you have them as your number 2 quarterback, right, and your number 1 guy starts to struggle, their huge fan bases of both those guys, of Tim Tebow's, are going to start calling for Tim to be the starter.
Yeah.
And Colin Kaepernick's going to start calling for him to be the starter. And that's going to trickle down to the locker room, which I think that's a bullshit excuse. I'm with Aaron on that. They're full of shit.
Okay.
Money-wise, I don't know what Colin, if he thinks he deserves starter money or not. I think he just wants to play while he's still got some years left because he's not getting any younger.
He does want to play, and I do feel him on that. Like, I know what it's like going to competitions or, sporting events and wanting to be on the field. Mm-hmm. Like, I fully, wholeheartedly understand where he's coming from. But in a sense, I'm not going to knock back on somebody's door who doesn't want me in their house.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm with you. If I was Colin Kaepernick, I'd give a big fuck you to Roger Goodell and everybody else, and I'd just tell him to suck my big dick.
Go talk
my scariest thing is, like, I just pray Kaepernick doesn't do anything wrong. Like, I mean, nothing. Like, doesn't even jaywalk.
Oh, they'll kill him if he does.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, my gosh. Like, if he can just behave until he passes away and an old man, he'll go down in history. But if he does one wrong thing, almost everything he did, they'll try to discredit.
Well, here's the deal. I always say this, so I want to make sure I do it, that I'm upfront and honest. When this whole thing first started, my only argument with the movement of Colin Kaepernick at first, when it first happened, was I said, I want to see Colin put his money where his mouth is. Like, do something about it. He was talking about the problems with the justice system, the targeting black people, which is all legitimate. And he's talking about violence.
He's donated over $1 million.
No, that's what I was going to say. I wanted him to put his money where his mouth is. And he did that. He went to the inner cities of Chicago, which is probably the biggest hotbed of murder and
right now.
Crime.
That's the one that's got all the attention. Yeah.
But like Aaron's saying, he also donated $1 million. So he did what was required of me, and so that's why I've become where I have supported him, because that's all I asked was for people to do what they say, and he's done that.
He has. I loved when he first started. He had auctioned off his shoes. All the shoes he had, he auctioned them all off, and he took that money and donated it. And I was like, wow, this guy's getting busy. And then next thing I know, it just kept steamrolling. People kept buying his jerseys. His jersey sales went up. So he just kept taking that money and buying book bags and stuff for people. And I was like, all right, he's getting busy. Yeah. He's actually doing what, everybody else says they're going to do.
And don't do.
and he still got slandered for it. I'm just like, wow, this dude can't do nothing without people liking him like at all.
Yeah,
even the kneeling, he was sitting down. He used to not even sit at the flag, and dude was like, hey, can you please kneel?
Yeah, he sat down with the old dude that was a long snapper for Seattle that was also an Army Ranger.
It was a Ranger. Yeah, that's who.
Yeah, and he sat down with him, and because he's obviously a level-headed enough guy, he took the input that he was given and said, fair enough. That's a great point.
Like, cool.
So instead of sitting on the bench, he kneeled, and people want to find a way to be pissed about anything, and I've been guilty of that plenty of times in my life, but if you really whittle this thing down, it's fucking ridiculous how mad people are. It makes no fucking sense.
But I just love the sensible people. I'm able to look at my friends and just people around me and be like, you're a sensible person. Like, that's the best way ever. Like, oh, you still enjoy Nike products? You're a sensible person. Like,
100%. If people think I'm going to burn, I've got some classic Air Force Ones, and I wore them in the picture that we're going to post for this episode.
You already tweeted it.
But we're going to put it on the cover one, too. And it's my clean-ass white Air Force Ones. And if you think I'm ever going to put a match to those motherfuckers, I don't even wear those because they're going to be dirty immediately. Those are strictly for viewing pleasure and wearing around the house.
Yes.
I mean, I know all about those shoes. My school, pretty much all of us were poor. So when we had new kicks, if you scuffed them or stepped on our shoes,
it was over.
It was a wrap. You're done. You're dead to me. If you step on my new kicks that I had no money to get, and I got them, it's a deal breaker, buddy. Now you're...
My brother used to always tell me, if you can work on your shoes and a nice hat, you're at least halfway there.
Yeah.
It's true.
Good advice.
That's your top and your bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to notice your shoes, 100%. Like, if you got some old, dingy, dusty-ass shoes on, you can be rocking the cleanest jeans. You know, you can have your shit ironed, your shirt tight, ironed up,
that's
looking
a good point,
good.
But if you have a super
But you throw
clean...
on some old dusty Reeboks, that whole outfit's down the shitter.
I know. It really
But
is.
what I wanted to ask you about the Nike campaign, where I think it's genius on Nike's part, and nobody's giving them credit, is they baited Trump, and they trumped Trump with this whole campaign because they banked on him responding with a tweet, of course, like he did, where he said it's whatever he said that was ridiculous, like it's unencourageable or some dumb shit.
Can you make up a word?
But Nike knew, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to get a tweet from the president bashing us that's going to go out to millions and millions of people, and they know that he's being irrational and people are going to buy our shit. You know, they have just flat out turned the table and did exactly what he did to get elected. He stayed in the media. People talked about him, and that's just how he stayed relevant enough to knock off everyone in the election. He let them do his advertising.
Yep.
And now he's doing Nike's advertising for them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm just curious to know what he's going to do about Ford. Like, that's my favorite one. Like, he kind of stuck up out of nowhere.
I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, Ford is supporting Nike. You know,
I want to see the fire trucks. I want to see them.
I'm telling you.
For it.
I'm telling you, I think it's smart on Nike's part. For the record to everybody, whoever they choose to be the face of their branding, that's totally up to them. That is the American way. It doesn't matter if you like who they pick or not. People are boycotting them and lighting their shoes on. What a bunch of dumb fucks. They've already handed them their money and then they're burning their shit.
How does that hurt Nike if they already bought the shoes
It doesn't.
from them?
My favorite is the memes that are coming out like, why don't you donate those shoes to a homeless veteran that you care so much about?
Exactly.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That shows you how much money people got.
You know why? Because what they're doing is they're shooting their little homemade videos of them like burning their shit, but they're going through their shit first and being like, oh shit, I ain't burning that Nike shirt. That Nike shirt's tight. I ain't burning that one. Throw me the old one that's got the stains on it.
Or they go to Goodwill and find like a $2
the one that's too
Nike
tight
shirt.
on me. Yeah, grab that one.
I had never. See, I grew up not having a lot of clothes and stuff like that, and definitely inner city schools, they'll let you know what you got and what you don't got.
Oh, for sure.
And, real quick.
Yep.
And I've never, anytime a good pair of shoes went bad, they were immediately used outside or cutting grass or something like that.
I still do that.
We do that now, yeah.
Yeah, but I would never if I destroyed some shoes, it was either talking to me or it had a hole in it. That's the only time I would ever destroy some shoes. And it's just to see people just burn a perfectly good pair of shoes that you still can put on your feet. It burns me up as it is. Not to mention, some people still were burning the shoes with their feet still in them.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of
dumbasses.
Injuries that
Geniuses.
happened. Yeah, people had to go to the hospital, burnt their feet up.
Culling the herd right there.
Yeah, that right there. But that tells you everything you need to know, right there. People that do that shit. I mean, lighten up the damn like a Colin Kaepernick jersey, which is so fucking stupid. Like it hurts the person that they're doing it to.
Yeah.
You
already bought it, dumbass.
Oh, man,
Yeah, see,
I don't know,
at
man.
least in Cleveland, you know, we went through the first LeBron James incident.
Yeah.
The first breakup.
Yep.
People at least tied it to their back of their cars and drug it through the streets. So they didn't completely damage it. They wanted to see I'm still damaging it, but
not setting it on fire.
Well, so how did you take that when LeBron went to L.A.?
You talking about L.A. or Miami? The first one or the second?
No, the second one this time.
Both times, I ain't mad at him.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him at all. I'm proud of him.
Yeah.
Because coming from Cleveland, every last one of us, everybody that has some notoriety from Cleveland, we all had to leave Cleveland in order to get it. We never got it staying here the entire time.
Damn.
That's anybody all the way down the line. Steve Harvey, Halle Berry, Terrence Howard. I can go down a list of people who's
I love some Steve Harvey, dog.
I do too.
That's my motherfucking
Wait,
Family Feud.
He's from Cleveland?
He's from Cleveland,
Yeah, he's
Ohio.
talked about that.
I always because he lives here now in Atlanta.
He has such a good story. Sorry to interrupt you, but he talks about that family, and I don't remember their name, that took him in Cleveland when he was broke and shit, and before he got his break, with the Kings of Comedy. And he still takes care of them. They came on Family Feud or a talk show he did or something.
Well, he's got the Steve Harvey show too.
But
yeah.
I mean, he's rolling in the shit now.
He's got 17 shows.
But he grinded for years. They all did. All those guys.
Comics don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know because
yeah.
it's a poor profession. But the ones who really thrive in it, they really grind it. So if you see a comic that's actually doing well right now, you can tell it's been a hard grind for him.
Yeah, even a Kevin Hart. We listened to his book.
That's a hustler, boy. That
Yes.
motherfucker, boy.
I remember Kevin Hart 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Just doing a little stand up at the Laugh Factory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
40-year-old virgin, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yes, he was in that
His
for
little part
2
in that where he
seconds.
said, "I'm gonna need you to help me with the sale and shut your mouth."
You ever see Paper Soldiers?
I have not seen Paper Soldiers.
I haven't either. I've heard of it.
That's a Rockefeller movie. Rockefeller Records, Jay-Z and Dame Dash and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a underschool. It's a real low budget movie, but it was good. Kevin Hart was the main character in that.
Shit, did you see the viral video not long ago of Damon Dash punking some dude that owed him $1 million?
No, but I love Dame Dash.
Yeah, he loaned it to a director to make a movie.
It's probably Weinstein.
Yeah, years and years ago, and
He smacked him. That's probably the incident when he smacked Weinstein.
Yeah, and
Was it Harvey Weinstein?
it must be. I just remembered that he was lighting that ass up about, look, I gave you years to pay me back.
Yeah.
And we had a gentleman's agreement. Where's my fucking money?
Man.
And it was nuts.
And that video.
That might be different.
Yeah, I don't know, but.
Yeah, well, I'm interested in you, and for you, what is your Mount Rushmore of stand-up comedy? And then I want to hear yours, and I'm going to give mine, too, of comedians. Mount Rushmore, so 3 of them. It's 3 on the Mount Rushmore, right?
I was thinking 4.
No, it's 4.
It's 4.
Oh, shit, all right, top 4 then. I can do 4. Damn, I thought it was 3. I thought I was smart and shit.
Chappelle. Definitely Chappelle.
All right, I've got mine written down, so I want to see if we're close.
Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, love Patrice.
And you gotta understand, Patrice has made me lose my shit before. Robin Harris.
I don't even know who that is.
You ever seen Bebe's Kids?
Yes. Yeah, oh my God.
That's
We don't
Harris.
die, we multiply.
That's Robin Harris. He the one like I had to spit on my food to keep them kids.
He has the big eyes. The big.
Yeah, he died, right? He was the dad from Kid and Play.
From Kid and Play, yeah.
Yeah. He died, but Robin Harris was one of the greatest hecklers of all time.
Oh, I bet.
Like, he was one of those people where he'd point you out and make fun of you, and the whole class, the whole audience would just lose it laughing at you. So damn, I think heckling is very important. I think it can be mean at times, and he was pretty mean at times, but he was great at it, and that's why he's on my Mount Rushmore.
All right.
George Carlin, just for the memory process.
Yeah.
George Carlin can remember, like,
no
it
shit,
seems like he
bro.
remembered scripts of comedy before he even went up there.
He would put out like 2 specials a year or something.
He's a beast.
Like, insane.
It's sad that most of my Mount Rushmore, they all dead.
That's a good one,
Carlin, Chappelle, Patrice, and
I'm gonna go
Robin Harris.
And Robin Harris. That's my Rushmore.
What's yours, babe?
Okay, I've got 3 so far.
I'm gonna take your shot of Fireball now. The one for you.
Well, I mean, cheers. Yeah,
bottoms up.
We've been doing 2 shots anyways lately.
Fuck me, man. That shit is nasty. Fuck.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I can think of a 4th. I've got Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Chappelle. For sure. And Zach Galifianakis.
I love Zach Galifianakis. That's a great one.
I love Zach.
Love him.
His comedy is for a certain kind of people. Like, you gotta get, he's funny as fuck if
like
you
that,
get it.
Yeah. And I think Will Ferrell.
Has he done much stand-up? He used to do a little, right?
I don't know if he did stand-up.
Didn't he do stand-up?
I think he did a little.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just thinking of skits from Saturday Night Live, and that I blend that with stand-up in my head. So if he's
I'm a huge Will Ferrell fan, so I'll be with you on that one.
Yeah, he's gonna just slide in there.
Right.
He could do stand-up, goddammit, if he wanted to.
I seen Talladega Nights by myself one night, and I was cracking up laughing in the theaters real loud. Dude. So that lets me know, like, dude is extremely.
I can't. Every single
Ricky
movie,
Bobby is a legend.
I mean, I guess okay. I mean,
Piss is excellent.
I guess it probably should be like Adam Sandler then.
Adam Sandler's good. Adam Sandler's real good.
Yeah, he does stand up.
I used to. Yeah, well, I mean, of course, but like, Will Ferrell, I just thought with it. But I wore out. I had the tape. The Adam Sandler tape.
I did too.
When I was in high school. I mean, we're older than
Lunch
you are.
Ladyland and
yes, and the shampoo.
Shampoo bottle now. Stick it up my ass. Yeah, he had some fucking funny music.
Oh my god.
All right, well, mine. I go number 1 for me. It's so fucking close, but it's Richard Pryor to me.
Nice.
I like everything Richard ever did, whether it was post drug addiction or even his earlier shit. Dude was ruthless.
Yeah.
Then Carlin.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick about Pryor. So I was in Peoria, Indiana, Illinois. I was in Peoria, Illinois, and that's where he's from. And there's a statue out there of him. I got pictures.
No shit.
There's a statue? That's awesome.
It was random. I was just walking to town one day, and some lady pulled up on me and said, "Do you know where the Richard Pryor statue is?" I said, "There's a Richard Pryor statue."
You tell me.
Did she pull over and ask you because you were black?
She was a black lady too.
Okay. I was like, oh man,
because I was walking to town like I knew the place. I walk the city, and so we ended up finding it, and we both took pictures next to it.
That's
I got pictures
awesome.
next to the Richard Pryor statue.
What a random city, though. I mean, like if he's from there, but it's like I can't imagine there's much going on in that city. I guess, but
they didn't want that. They didn't want that statue because who he was, and Peoria is a real small conservative Christian northern town.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people don't know. You watch him and Carlin both were like clean comedians real early because they go back to like the fucking like 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they would both come out and they tried to be clean and then said fuck that. But they were clean comedians and good for a long time.
Richard Pryor had no
I think Pryor was born in a whorehouse.
He was.
He was.
Exactly.
A lot like Harlem Nights movie.
Yeah, so
his mom was a hooker.
Yeah, so I go Pryor, Carlin. And then I've got a tie for 3 and 4 with Chappelle and Eddie Murphy. I don't know which one.
There.
Huh?
Yeah.
You can have them both.
Yeah, like they're just so close. I mean, fuck, man. Delirious
And Raw.
Delirious was and Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, half of Delirious though is him being Richard Pryor, which is what gives me Richard Pryor as being the GOAT.
But it's the fact that both of those still hold up.
Oh,
Today.
Delirious holds up.
I mean,
you could play that tonight, and I'll get off this shit right now and go watch it.
Do you remember the Nutty Professor?
Oh,
yes.
Chappelle, you remember Chappelle in that movie? He was Reggie, the comedian.
Yep.
And he said when they were going through jokes, it was him and Eddie Murphy. And when he made that joke about who's sucking whose titties tonight,
Yep.
said Eddie Murphy spit fluid out his nose. And that's when he knew he was extra funny. When
If he made Eddie Murphy yes.
Well, see, that's what kills me is there's all these rumors and people want Eddie to come out and do a special again. But everything I've heard is like that he's ready, like material. I mean, he's fucking awesome. So of course he could kill. But today's society, he's afraid of like the backlash, right? Because
is it because he's done all these like Disney movies and shit now?
Well, that too.
Comedy's cool. Comedy's cool. He's still, if Daniel Tosh can still get up there and do what he does,
right?
Damn,
Eddie Murphy will be fine.
And Anthony Jeselnik,
he's
got about the darkest shit ever, but it is funny.
Well, see, I put him right there with Patrice, where they're like my sub.
I love Patrice.
Mount Rushmore. Patrice, people forget about him. Every comedian that I've ever listened to, like their podcast or anything, they list him just like Aaron did.
Yeah.
Like the comedians love Patrice.
That's
I've never cried. Chappelle and Patrice have made me like cry where I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe at all. When Patrice gave one joke where he used audience participation. He asked all the audience, if you lost your pussy, females, if you lost your pussy in some weird accident, what would you do to keep your man? And all these girls went out and was like, suck his dick and let him do anal and do all this stuff. And he's like, see, none of you hoes said play Xbox or with him and that right there was, He said, you just showed your hand. He said, none of y'all said play Xbox or.
Golly.
Right.
He was such a good roaster, man.
Yeah.
Like, he roasts you to death. Like he would get, like you're talking about Robin Harris. I totally forgot about him, but you're right. He's a fucking beast. But Patrice would get up there on these roasts and hurt feelings. And these people are ready to be roasted, but he would be the one that would make them be like, man, fuck that. I'm ready to fight. Like,
he's made some people feel amazing. Like when he calls somebody top shelf white woman, he's like, that's a top shelf white woman right there.
Oh shit! Well, I want to jump since we're talking about comedy. Got to get your thoughts on Louis C.K. We talked about that in our last episode. He did a set at the Comedy Cellar in New York recently. Just kind of came back out of his little obscurity. And first off, I got to tell you what I told to Brooke. If you read his allegations, one of the things that he did was one of the best Dave Chappelle jokes ever. When Chappelle talks about being, when he was in San Francisco doing his stand-up, he said, I've been a victim of terrorism. And he was talking about the homeless guy jerking off on the bus and holding them all hostage like, hey, get out of the way. I'm gonna, hey, watch out, buddy. I'm gonna, and he's just from there stroking. Hey, watch out. And then you find out Louis C.K. is making girls like blocking their way to get out of his room while he's jerking off till he gets to completion. It's the same thing. It's crazy. That was a Chappelle joke in real life.
It was. Chappelle, he knows how to tell the future.
Right.
I love some Chappelle, man. When he did the little baby drug dealer.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Go home, baby.
Selling weed.
I mean, you got to be a little so you listen to his shit. He's such a genius, but you got to think, damn, what kind of mental space is he in to think of that?
Oh yeah.
Of rolling through the hood, got a little baby. Hey, I got kids, motherfucker.
Yeah, but in all reality, it was probably like some 7-8-year-old out there.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
There's some truth in all those like fucked up stories.
No, I used to go Mason Court in Huntsville, Alabama was the biggest scariest project in Huntsville, Alabama. You can look it up. It's still there. Mason Court.
Is that the one where he said they're raping everybody up in here?
No, yeah. Old dude was from Mason Court that had the
hide
big...
your kids,
Antoine Dodson?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's from there.
Oh, my gosh.
And my best friend, Fred McGinnis, Brooke knows him.
Yeah.
They climbing in your window.
Yeah.
We would go... I'd be taking him home after football practice or something, dropping him off, and we'd be in my car.
He lived there?
Yeah, for a while. Fred lived a little bit everywhere, but he grew up in Northwood and Mason Court.
Oh.
And so I'd take him back. I mean, and he lived with me half the year, and
yeah.
we were
Okay.
super close. But so I'd take him, and he would yell the N-word out the window, and then duck down and hide in my seat. So it's just me all the time. And you talk about being scared, like. He would do it when we're passing, like, the local OGs that lived there for 27 years.
You're like, motherfucker, you're going to get me killed.
Yeah, and he wouldn't give a shit. He did it all the time. Fred, if you're listening, I want you to tweet that that's true, that story.
No, I absolutely believe it's true. We do shit to our white friends. Tell them what you said, Billy. Go ahead.
He would do, and just throw me right under the bus like that. And that shit's scary, man. Like that project, Mason Court, was rough. I mean, damn. It was really rough. They liked you. Yeah, and I ended up, I knew everybody there and they were cool. But, man, that shit's still scary. And he didn't give a shit. Fucking Fred McGinnis.
That means they liked you a lot, man. The home.
Well, so what do you think of Louis C.K.'s thing?
I mean... we're comics. We're kind of like invulnerable to everything that humans do, because we just weird and messed up as everyone else. They'll tell you a lot of comics are very depressed, and I don't have an issue with depression or like that, but you can see it, like being in the scene and stuff like that. That's some of the funniest people you ever meet are extremely depressed.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. They got to have a place to. Their creativity comes from a place of.
Darkness.
Yeah, a lot of them.
So it's like with Louis C.K., he's gonna need to work. I hope he gets work. And he did something really weird. That's funny. If he can really spin this, it's funny.
That's what I said.
How many girls have dealt with creeps like that who've done stuff like that? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm the most mature when I was like 16, 17. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you wasn't 40 years old and jerking off and being like, I know you don't want it, but sit there till I'm done. Then you can leave immediately because I'm through with you. And what was gangster to me was in his little apology letter that his ass was still almost telling jokes, like was crude. Be like, I didn't show my dick and balls unless I asked. Like just the verbiage was still, and if you listen to his comedy, he's a weird fuck. From way back. He always talked about like his obscurities with women, his insecurities with women. That's no excuse or anything.
Yeah, he had some dark
He's
shit
still fucked
in
up.
his comedy too. Yeah, I mean, but so when stuff like that comes out, it's like, because I always thought he was pretty funny.
I thought he was gross. I had
it's
a feeling.
It's a good learning experience.
Oh, shit. That motherfucker, man, I'm telling you though, I have a good eye for people. And the first time I saw him, I was like, that motherfucker right there is weird and creepy. I'm telling you, in his real life, I can just tell that he's super creepy.
But he was kind of like that on Parks and Rec. I don't know if you watched that show.
Yes. Oh, God. He was her ex-boyfriend, and he was super weird.
He was the cop. Yeah, he was kind of like weirdish and the whole time. So, there's still more weird-ass roles out there for him.
Yeah, but he should still be able to work, right? That was my point. Was like, whether you agree with his shit or not, whatever side of the movement you're on.
Yeah, take care of your legal shit, but go and get your money, too, at the same time.
Right, if he wants to work, just...
Yeah, people shouldn't, like, say that a man that has, whether he's committed a crime or not, if he's not incarcerated, everyone should be able to work. Like, you shouldn't take anyone's ability to make money away from them, in my opinion.
I believe that. Just let them, because it's good for the economy all the way around. You try to make people broke out here, and they just resort to other means of making money. So just let him do what he do. If it ain't bothering you, just move on. That's how I be feeling.
Yeah, well, I've got to ask you this, and just because I know Brooke talks about it, and we were watching one of your YouTube videos. That was funny as shit. And you were talking to the guy, and you were like, it's like hip hop, man. You want the guy with the chain or the guy that can spit? And so,
oh my gosh, what joke was that? Oh my gosh, what was it? Oh, that was when I was doing campaigning.
Yeah, you were out on the street, but that was the point behind that. When me and Brooke watched it, I was like, that's a fucking excellent point. And so it made me think. I wanted to ask you what your favorite hip hop album of all time is. Your one favorite album.
That's
and
tough.
We're gonna all answer it. Brooke's gonna give hers. I'm gonna give mine.
That is really tough.
You only got one.
Oh my gosh.
I'll go first because mine's easy because I don't have a whole lot of hip hop.
Go ahead.
And mine is DMX, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Blood of My Blood. Oh boy, that's a good one.
That album holds up. I still listen to it in the gym today. I can throw that album on and every bit of it's good. I know DMX has had his crack issues and all. That motherfucker is bad as hell. When Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood came out, that was a wrap for me. Love it.
Yeah, that is your shit.
See, but that's what, I don't know if you heard Nas say. He said those old crackhead legends, those old rap legends be those crackheads with missing teeth. Like,
yeah.
Your best rappers or your best poets or some of your best people, they didn't make notoriety. They're still on the corner, still bitter about the other person, but some of them are,
or they're dead.
Incredible.
No, and you could always hear, of course, everybody knows DMX's voice is very different, but you could hear the grime and the grit, griminess.
Does he talk like that? Just like when he's just talking, he's like, "I want a Big Mac."
DMX will walk up to you, punch you in the face, and then say a prayer with you that'll make you convert to Christianity.
Okay,
like some of his prayers, like are rap songs.
Yeah.
Like, he'll sit out there and just break out into a prayer mid-concert to a beat, and the shit is pure fire.
He's a fuckhead, though. Doesn't he fight pit bulls and shit?
He's got a lot of his issues.
Yeah,
but that album, man, that's my shit. Just being honest.
And it's like, okay. It's going to be a tie.
You can do a tie.
I'll let Brooke go. Brooke's next.
Okay, so... I was super into hip hop like in high school, so mine, I always go back to Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, she loves a Tribe Called Quest for sure.
Okay, mine would be a tie, and they're not really popular albums. They just really meant a lot to me. It'd be Nas, The Lost Tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nas is awesome.
Yeah, but he had some real gems on that Lost Tapes. They didn't make it to a lot of the other albums, a lot of the songs, so he just compiled them and dropped a little album. But he had some songs on there that really got me through high school. Mm-hmm. And then the other one would be the Ghetto Boys.
Oh.
The Foundation. It was one of their later albums.
God, the Ghetto Boys, I just think of my mind's playing tricks on me.
That's a good one. And but this one, they really, you could tell they were older. And they were giving a lot of game away to these young cats. Like, this one, most of my friends were in the dope game, and I was being a fuckhead and just doing stupid shit out there as a youth. Mm-hmm. And they really helped let me know, like, hey, if you're gonna do your dirt, get your money and get it gone before the DA come get you, or if you're gonna do anything, do it right. Like, play the rules. Don't mess around. Do what you got to do. Get done. I just thought it really helped me keep me on track as a teenager acting a fool.
Well, so who do you take in the Biggie Pac debate?
That was another question. I got that written down. Pac was a better artist.
Yep.
Biggie was a better lyricist.
Yep. Biggie was the shit, man. I love Pac. I take Pac in this
Tupac,
debate, but I go back and listen to some of Biggie's shit, and what gets me is he couldn't hold a conversation and not lose his breath because he was so heavy. But he could sit there and spit for 15 minutes and never miss a breath. I never understood that.
The music does something to you. I used to rap. I used to have a publishing contract when I was down there in Atlanta.
Oh, no shit. Shit, you've been down here in Atlanta? I mean, shit.
Yeah, I used to live in Atlanta. I used to live in Forest Park and Morrow.
No shit.
Okay,
yeah. We live in Ackworth.
We live on the opposite end.
We live north.
But
yeah, but when that music hits you, it's like sports. It's the same thing with sports. Mm-hmm. Once you get that hit or that high, you can do all kind of shit. And then when you come down, you're like, oh, I didn't know that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you listen to Biggie like give an interview, and even in the one where he talks when he's doing that song with Diddy about more money, more problems, he's like, and like my boy Puff say, more money you get, more problems you have. And then
that's like Big Pun.
And then, Big Pun. Forget about him. That dude was done. I mean, it was clear he was gonna die. He was so big.
He couldn't tie his shoes.
I know.
And swore he fucked everything that moved.
Oh, there was the story of the one girl. They were in the hotel, doing their thing, right? And the girl ran out of there and ran into the other room. And it was like, what's the problem? And she said, he tried to get on top of me.
That is a problem. That's a problem for anybody.
He tried to kill me. He tried to kill them.
She ran out of there.
Isn't he the one that did I'm Not a Player, I Just Crush a Lot?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Jeez.
Absolutely.
Old Big Pun.
Yeah,
so what do you think about this Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly's beef?
I love it.
Who do you think wins right now? Who's up?
Right now it's Machine Gun Kelly. Right now it's Machine Gun Kelly because
Rap Devil?
Eminem been bullying people for years.
Yeah.
True.
It's not working so much. Look, you're old now.
He is old. That's what I say.
You should be giving all these young kids the game. You should be holding their hands through it.
Agreed.
And Machine Gun Kelly doesn't seem like he's one to be arrogant for that type of knowledge. That's like, all right, you guys are a little bit older than me. So if you was just always start coming out and blowing down on all these other podcasts, like we all could work together and do great things like we're doing now.
100%.
For somebody to just be talking smack, that's when bitterness comes in.
Yeah.
You're not young. If you guys are really going to do this, go box. That's
sure.
what I feel.
And but the thing about Eminem, what bothers me, and I love him, he's great. Just like Machine Gun Kelly said, that's the nicest diss track I've ever heard. As far as it compliments him as much as it disses him. But Eminem's not broke anymore. He's not broke. He shouldn't be so angry. I'm like you. Now is his time to bring along another one. And still make his money, but bring him along like what Dre did to him.
Yeah.
He said, go on and share some of that. He said, we all hungry out here. And, you're rich and you still mad yelling at the mic.
Yeah.
I've listened to that diss about 6-7 times straight, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm very proud of him. Machine Gun Kelly's from Cleveland, too.
No shit.
It's
nice.
Yeah, he actually went to the same school I went to.
Oh.
He's younger than me. We went to Shaker Heights High School, but he's younger than him and Kid Cudi.
My
Kid
sister
Cudi,
was born in Shaker Heights.
Yeah, pull up Machine Gun Kelly, Rap Devil.
Okay.
The lyrics are incredible. I'm actually very proud of them.
I'm too. I was impressed. I heard a lot of people hating on it. They're like, damn, dude.
I ain't never seen nobody punch Eminem like that.
Yeah, and I don't know. Honestly, I feel like there's not a whole lot of room for Eminem to come back and win this, because if he comes out too hard, he looks like an old angry man saying, get off my lawn.
Did you want me to play it?
Get off my lawn, kids.
He said, we get it. We know you're the best rapper alive. All you do is sit in the booth and yell at the mic. You spend $1 million on security a year. Like, he told him, we can fight. I'll punch you.
He kind of did. He kind of did what Eminem was talking about in 8 Mile when he went ahead and took all the dude's power from him and dissed his own self.
Yes.
And here it is.
Oh,
I want to play a snip of this.
he's eating.
His beard is weird. Damn. All right, you can kill it so we don't get taken down. But that is good.
I like that.
That beard is weird line,
dude.
That was from Eminem's old song in 2013.
I was just about to say it sounds just like Eminem the way he said it. Like, this beard is weird.
It's a snippet. It's a snippet from one of his old songs where he said, "Let's grow beard. When we grow beards, we'll get weird."
Oh yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
So Machine Gun Kelly did tons of research.
Yeah.
Like, you think this man hasn't grown up under you? That's like he
kind of looks like him.
It's the NBA. This is literally what it is. It's the NBA Finals. It's not the finals, the conference finals. Boston versus Cleveland.
Yep.
I don't know if you watched this year.
Yeah.
Most of those kids on Boston's team went to LeBron's training camp.
Oh, of course.
So they got pictures with LeBron. They grew up under LeBron. Of course, that's why they played so well.
Mm-hmm.
They understand this man more than anybody.
Sure.
But LeBron showed love to him. He showed love back. And that's where Eminem messed up at. You started hating on these kids who've been studying you their whole life. Now you just got eaten up.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Just show love.
When you go after a kid that is hungry and young and trying to make it, there's nothing more dangerous than in anybody. You know, that's when you're the most dangerous. When you're broke and you're trying to get, Eminem, there's nowhere for him to go. I mean, he's fucking obviously one of the GOATs.
Right.
I mean, clearly, no matter what anybody says, he's one of the best ever.
I know. I just wish he would
But his beard is weird. Like, it looks weird. It bothers me.
Looks like he has mange.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, when they was doing their Super Bowl speech, their ceremony, he said, "An underdog is a hungry dog," and Machine Gun Kelly showed him real quick.
No shit. Damn, that shit's funny. Well,
I
shit.
love it.
Well, so what did and I don't know much about Mac Miller, but his overdose and passing recently. Was he?
I don't know much about him either.
Yeah, I don't know much about. Did you know any of his?
So,
I know he was with Ariana Grande for a while.
He was. I don't really. Honestly, the only thing I really know him from is when he was on Ridiculousness. Mm-hmm. He was funny as shit when he was like a guest on Ridiculousness. But I mean, I don't honestly. I couldn't tell you what his music was. But I mean, he apparently was like, I mean, based on what I see on social media, he was like the sweetest guy ever, and
just had a drug problem.
I guess so. Yeah. Like, I mean.
Well, what kills me is nowadays.
I don't know if it was on purpose.
I didn't know this, but there's a large handful of white rappers now that are like well respected. It was just Eminem when I was coming up.
It was just Eminem.
It was only Eminem.
Oh yeah, there's some good ones because talent shines through everything.
Sure. Oh, of course.
If you're talented, you're gonna get known. Like I like Logic. I like a couple. I think the one guy's. Oh man, I forgot the one guy's name. But Mac Miller was he was good. But my nephew and all the younger generations, they really seem to take this to heart because they really loved a lot of his music and just props as an artist.
Well, no. So I think that society could take a little something from the hip hop community and watch how well they've embraced whites, blacks, Latino rappers. Now that's so open, and we as society can't even get to the same place that the rap game is. That used to be the hardest place for a white guy to get in. It was almost like reverse.
Uh-huh. Well, I want to kind of take that away from that because let's not forget some of our pioneers of rap. We can never ever forget the Beastie Boys.
Oh, Beasties for sure.
And we can never forget Rick Rubin.
Oh.
We wouldn't have a lot of shit if it wasn't for Rick Rubin.
No, no doubt. He is an ugly man, but that is for sure.
Genius.
He is.
Genius.
Not a handsome fella, though.
Is one of the best beats of all time.
Oh, yeah. He did, who all did he work with? Run DMC.
Rock This Way.
Yeah. Fuck, he has worked with a lot of the Beasties. Did he work with the Beasties? Rick Rubin?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. He was their main guy.
Yeah, that's fucking
crazy.
But
my favorite is 99 Problems.
Oh, I love that shit. I love that song. Jay-Z.
And that beat is hot. So in the hip hop community, like they don't embrace all the white artists, but even Vanilla Ice, like give the man some credit. Vanilla Ice was the man.
Shit was huge. Yeah.
That Ninja Turtle rap is my favorite.
Shit, I'm not gonna lie. I had some old Z Cavaricis, like old Vanilla, for a minute. I was straight right in the Vanilla Ice era when he came up.
God, yes.
And everybody immediately wanted to pretend like, that's what kills me is when somebody goes under or the fads change, they drop who they like, and that chaps my ass because I like Vanilla Ice at the time. He's fucking great.
I had the single.
Do you remember Arsenio Hall?
Oh, I do. When he talked about when he made up the shit about him getting stabbed and shit, and tried to be real hard when he shouldn't have.
No, who was getting into it? It was MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, and they were going through a beef. And I remember Arsenio, like, he sat down with Vanilla Ice, and they straightened it out right there. And he's like, no, I don't have any problem with him. We can make music together. And that's what needs to happen. We need more shows like that where we can get together and be like, here's the real truth. This is what's really going on. No beef, no problems. We can make. That's what it's about. You're supposed to be making music.
Well, don't they use? Isn't it kind of a almost like politics in a way within the hip hop community, where right now having a beef is good for both parties, as far as like you were saying, any publicity is good publicity. So
it is. You're supposed to be able to challenge your skills.
Like Jay-Z and Nas, right? They're cool now,
that was
right?
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
Like that beef was for years.
It was good stuff.
It brought the best out of them artistically. They pushed each other.
If Tupac and Biggie would have lived longer, I
wonder what Tupac would
how
be doing
long it would have
if he was
lasted.
still alive.
I don't think that beef is what killed Pac. Pac was a lot deeper than that beef. There was a whole lot going on with Pac. Pac was getting letters from jails. Like, he had gang leaders. Pac was starting to become a huge revolutionary, and I think that's why he had to go.
Yeah.
I think that beef was just pretty small beans to a giant. But it's good for environment. You're supposed to be on stage in front of each other, spitting.
Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to do. We've gotten away from that, and everybody goes and locks themselves in their room and makes their song, and then comes back a week later. Yeah. You're supposed to be on stage next to this guy,
looking him in the face,
back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you before I move on to the listener questions, because we got a few. I did want to get this question from you. Is you hear these guys, right? They come out and they say they're freestyling, but a huge majority of them, I know they wrote that shit down.
Of course they did. You've got shit, just like a comic. If you went up or like just when you start riffing or whatever, like some of it's like in the bank.
But you've got some guys that are true freestylers that they didn't write that shit down because it's not so polished, but it's still great.
Well, what I'm saying is I don't think they wrote down the whole thing, but they've got certain
you look at
phrases.
Look at Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne doesn't even write his lyrics down. He's talked about that.
Fucking genius.
I love Lil Wayne.
I do too.
It's a memory process.
Yeah.
That's really what it is in the end. Like, I've seen Wayne record, and he'll go in there, he'll spit maybe 3 bars, go back, sit down, think about it, go back in, spit another 2, 3, 4 bars. And that's cool in a sense. Like Jay-Z, he'll work on a song for maybe a month in his brain. So when it comes time to put it out, he'll just go on the mic and do it in one take. Bam.
Damn.
But it's a memory. He even talks about how he doesn't smoke a lot of weed and stuff like that, so he can remember most of his
Lil Wayne
lines.
does. Lil Wayne drinks his purple drink and
takes his pills. And
God, I love Lil Wayne though, man. I hope he doesn't die, man. I worry about him every time I see him when he's so far gone because he's so talented.
I like Lil Wayne.
I do.
I like him.
All right, well, I want to get to this first question because it's fucking hilarious. And this is about, now we're going to get toward the being because you're a husband. And you have what, 1 or 2 kids?
I have 2 kids.
Two
I got
kids.
A son and a daughter.
Boom. Perfect. That's what we've got. We got 2 boys. So this question is, my husband chooses 2 cats that piss on everything over me and his children. And they wrote a long story about it. Basically what it is this guy adopted 2 cats. They piss on everything. He won't clean it up. He pisses on the kids' clothes. The kids have to go to school smelling like cat piss. Gross. And she's had it up to here. What does she do?
I don't think I'm the best person to answer this question because I don't tolerate none of that shit. Like, none of it. I am not a fan of. I was just talking to my wife this morning. Like, I don't like dirty clothes. I don't like unwrinkled clothes. I don't like wrinkled clothes.
Dude, I iron everything. Ask Brooke. I'm telling you, man. That's something about inner city. Not to be stereotyping, but my black friends taught me to iron. Even if I don't have an ironing board, I'll fold up a towel on the floor, and I can iron on the floor.
Or if you don't even have an iron, I will heat up a pot of boiling water and use that pot to iron with.
No
like,
shit. Yeah.
Wow.
You're gonna make it happen.
Wow. Randall's
He
like
sounds
writing
like
that down.
clothes. You're gonna get roasted.
There's no excuse to be wrinkled where I went to school. You would get blown out of the school. If you showed up raggedy and you were wrinkled, there's no excuse. You could have the coolest Tom. You know, I went to school. Tommies were big, polos and shit. If
They
you
call you. They call you paper ball.
yeah, you come up in there in a new clean ass polo, but that shit looks like you damn picked it up out of a ball out of the damn the hamper. Nobody's gonna fuck with you, and they're gonna joke you out of the fucking school.
That's the truth. The fact. Those are facts.
I iron my boys' stuff, like when they'll go like first day of school and shit. Like I still iron. I'll iron their stuff. I'll iron Brooke's pants. Like when she'll pull out some pants because she doesn't iron. She'll be like, "These are fine." I'm like, "God, no, they're not."
I'll throw it in the dryer.
I'm like, "Babe, I can't be seen
Thank
with
you,
you."
Randall. Thank you. Thank you. I mean,
I
I
suck
want
at
to
ironing,
sincerely
though.
say thank you because I thought I was the only one that just. It's like that in my marriage. I be ironing everything. My wife's like, "Oh, they're cool," and I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not at all. It's not fine."
No, because I'm one of the guys that are going to look at that on other people. Like, I'll be like, that motherfucker thinks he's smooth and he's wrinkled as fuck. Like, his whole shit is out the... I don't care what he says, how good he is at whatever he does. He's a fucking slob. And I can tell you right now, because he wouldn't take 5 minutes to iron his shit. And, I mean, I'll iron my shit with anything from a spray bottle of water to starch. You know, it just depends, you know, on what I'm ironing. But, man, I'm a fucking savant with ironing. So we got that in common big time, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But regarding the cats, I'm with you. I'd be like, fuck the cats.
Right. Put them outside.
Cat piss don't go away.
No.
No, cats are nasty motherfuckers, boy.
Especially if it's like, if they're weird fuckers that have like male cats that didn't get neutered or something, that's just...
Well, they're spiteful, like Hefner was. They'll go shit on your pillow if they're mad at you.
Fuck yeah. We had to, like, I mean, God, if we went out of town, we had to lock... I mean, we don't have this cat anymore. He died, but like, he would 100% of the time shit on anything he could find. Like, we had to make sure the bedroom was closed because he would be right on our pillow, or like the couch. We had to cover it with like 1,000 towels and shit because he would be that's the first place he'd go.
We put that cat outside, which is sad.
Yeah.
That cat
He
became
did.
an
He ended
outdoor
up going
cat.
outside because he got so spiteful, and he was like 20 pounds. So when he would like got spiteful and wanted to take a shit, it was like a fucking grown
mountain
man.
lion.
Yeah, I mean, so it wasn't like a little kitty cat. I mean, that motherfucker was a beast.
All right. Well, I want to go to this one.
Real quick. I told my wife, I said, I'm not feeding not one more living organism in this house.
Totally
Aw.
fair. Hey, when man, I'm with you. When you know, if somebody's got to go, and as far as the budget goes, people that are like, "Oh, I just won't eat for my animal," I'm like, fuck that, buddy. Them damn animals hit the bricks. I'm still gonna get my fucking bologna something. They're gonna hit the brick, or their ass will eat cheese. I mean, I'm cool with that, but I ain't buying their $20 dog food if we don't have $20 extra. They're gonna eat bread and shit themselves outside.
We don't have to have that discussion.
I know, but if we
so-
did, that's how I would be too.
I understand.
As we're spending hundreds of dollars on our 5-pound dog's medicine.
Well,
and-
luckily we're in a place to have that right now. That kills me to do that, but it's the right thing to do. He's an old
It
guy,
is.
and we're trying to, keep him comfortable. But
little old man.
we got to
Next
ask you this one, because I would ask you this too. Who is the most intelligent person on Drinks with Larry?
Oh.
And who is the funniest?
Ooh, wow. Because we're all gonna argue about who it is. That's really what it is.
Uh-huh.
We're all gonna think we are. I guess it would be like intelligence, like in what?
Well, I was telling Brooke when we were talking about these questions after I pulled them off of Twitter where people had sent them. I was telling her, like, from what I know of you guys, like with sports, Brian is like a savant, right?
Yeah, Brian got it.
Like, he is a savant with sports.
I'm not
That
gonna argue
dude
with
can
Brian on
hold
sports.
so much information. We were messaging back and forth about the Browns, and I was just like, no, about Miami. He's a Hurricane fan. And I was giving him shit about the Hurricanes losing their first game. And he came back with a full-blown ass hypothesis and essay that when I read it, I was like, he's right. Everything he said is. I mean, he had
diagnosis.
statistics and.
Have you ever heard him talk baseball with Kevin Goatee?
No, I haven't.
We got the guy from Comics Watching Comics. He comes on our show every
shit.
once in a while. And
Nice.
those two talk baseball. I sit out.
Yeah.
Sit out with me.
Oh yeah, he seems super smart about sports. So I'm with you. If it was just sports, Brian he would beat anyone I know. He's fucking smart about that shit.
Let's see, but like smart, intelligent in what?
Yeah,
like,
that's a hard question
Well,
to
like
answer.
I don't know, like just general like IQ. I
Like
guess
book smarts.
I'm gonna go with me all day.
There you go.
I'm smarter than all them motherfuckers.
I love it.
Daniel is pretty smart. Larry has a degree in history, and
Oh Jesus.
Burton will come out of the blue with some good facts. I think it kind of meshes together. They think I'm a kook, so half the shit I say they think I'm crazy until I gotta like bring up the facts. Like this is why yada yada yada, and every now and then I'll crack their head.
Well, that's why it works, though. That's what I love about y'all's dynamic. Like, man, you guys do a great job of making that work with that many people. Like, it's really impressive. I've said it a few times. That's what I love about the show. And, like, your last episode that you guys just did, where you were doing the game questions.
Oh, the Family Feud question. I was laughing.
I laughed. Y'all did so good.
I was crying.
That episode was beautiful.
I was listening to that at work. I
Oh,
had, and now with our new setup, I have to put fucking like earbuds in because we're in this goddamn like open workspace shit. And so I look even more like a crazy person. I had like headphones in and I was listening to it and I was just working and I was laughing out loud just
That
at my
shit was
computer.
funny. Oh my god.
When he fucking said depression for like the
Oh my god.
what state is known for having a lot of mountains, I fucking pissed my pants.
We all cried.
And
go ahead.
Oh, he kind of like he said it, and then y'all kind of just like kept talking for a second, and then you were like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, it was
You
awesome.
said depression.
When he said, I think I asked him, what would you say about your dog that you would say about another person? And
Oh my god!
Larry said ran away with the neighbor.
In the freezer.
No, you guys were like in the.
Oh my
I love all your episodes. We both do. I mean, we're big fans, so of course we love them. But y'all were in the pocket.
Yeah.
This last, if that is a thing, like bands when they talk about being in the pocket. If I had to send one to a friend for y'all, I would send last week's episode.
Yeah, I was dying.
Nice.
That was good.
Like without, no guests. Guests are great when y'all have guests on. Speaking of, we got to go ahead and drop this. Again, we said it wrong in the beginning. We have Aaron, Aaron from Drinks and Larry.
Drinks and Larry.
If, from Buff Bagwell, of course, got it correct. It is not Drinks with Larry. It's Drinks and Larry.
You're listening to Drinks and Larry.
That was hilarious. Oh my god, we was dying.
How fucked up was Buff? Good Lord. When y'all started it,
it was beautiful.
He said,
Was Aaron,
Hey.
Were you even there?
he went and
I
got
was
food. Didn't you go
Oh.
get food at some point?
Okay.
But anyway, like when it first started, he was sitting there and Buff said, "Hey, let me ask you a question. Can I cuss on here?" And Larry was like, "Of course. There's no censorship here." And Buff pulls out his shit and he goes, "Well, I'm about to give you the best fucking podcast you ever had."
We were both like, "Huh? Mark doesn't even cuss that much."
No, like
That
y'all
was
caught
awesome.
y'all caught him raw. Like he had done smoked
was-
about a pound of the good shit.
He was in
and-
rare form for sure.
And what I loved was y'all would ask him a question, and Larry asked him one of my questions to be nice to me. Asked him a question. Mark wouldn't even answer. He'd just go in another direction. Like Larry was like, "Randall wants to know what it was like to train with Lex Luger." And Mark was like, "Oh, Scott Steiner was the best. Let me just tell you about this time." And I mean, he's when Mark goes on it, he's impossible. But I laughed my ass off at that show.
Yeah, honestly, like I didn't know Buff. Like I didn't watch that much WCW.
Yeah.
Like we played all the video games and stuff like that. I was more WWF and ECW. I really loved ECW back in the day.
Oh yeah, of course. Me too.
So like I just didn't really know what questions to ask, and the way they were so excited, I kind of like let them have that. And then they got mad at me at the end of the episode, like you didn't even talk in the end.
You didn't have a chance. Buff doesn't give no one a chance to talk.
I mean, it was cool. I was happy they was happy.
Right.
Exactly.
That was all. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to take from it. Now, Ken Shamrock, I'm a Ken Shamrock fan.
Oh man, I hope
That's
one of
so
y'all.
cool.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy for y'all about that. But somebody's got to ask him if that fucking fight with Kimbo was rigged.
Is the fight? I'm gonna write it down right now.
When he fought Kimbo Slice, it was right at the end. Like they fought
Right.
for Bellator or something.
That was just like a
Right before Kimbo died,
yeah.
not long before Kimbo died. They fought, and it looked like Ken took a fall. Like it didn't look like a real fight.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ask the most dangerous man that because Ken Shamrock will rip your arms off. But I always wanted to know if that shit just looked rigged to me.
I'll ask him for sure. I got an answer to Dr. Muddington.
Oh.
Yeah, Dr. Muddington asked me about the Lionel Richie video last time
Yes.
it was on.
Yes.
Okay, Hello it's a good song, but that video was creepy. Like if you go back, because so I watched it when I was a kid. I watched it again, and then I watched it while I was drinking, and I was like, this is kind of messed up.
It's kind of like a stalker.
The girl was blind. I don't know if everybody knows it. The girl's blind.
Yeah.
She was doing acting classes, and he was the professor. And he's supposed to be watching them do a scene, and he's in the middle of singing. He's supposed to be,
If you break it down like this, it is very creepy.
He had that girl's number. What else? Like it was. Then she's painting this art sculpture. Like I don't know if she touched his face before she painted the sculpture or. It was just creepy. Like I'm glad they like each other and they're in love and they're adults. Like I'm glad it wasn't like a high school thing. Oh. But it was still kind of weird. Like he had her number, he was calling her and then hanging up.
Yeah, he would get arrested nowadays. You're right. Like that would be
would.
borderline inappropriate. Society would not let that happen now.
No, hello.
What a jam though. You got Lionel got that. He's just man. I forget about him all the time, though. When it comes to, I always say Lionel's one of my favorite, like, smooth voices. But Luther Vandross takes Lionel. And I forget about big Luther. When he was fat Luther.
Oh, Luther, of course, he the man. But what they forget about Lionel is Lionel wrote a lot of music. You know,
with the Commodores
and Phil Collins. And he wrote a lot of music for them. And that's why they became a lot who they were, because of the songs he was writing. And we as listeners, we forget that some of the artists are not the writers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
There's a lot of respect for the writers. Like Prince wrote a lot of music for a lot of people you'll never know. Mm-hmm. He just wrote songs and gave them to people. Like, here, make this or make this or make that. And
nowadays, a lot of that comes out now.
Shit, Prince will fuck your bitch in a heartbeat. Prince fucked everybody.
God,
just like Dave Chappelle. I mean, dude, everybody, men, women. I think Prince fucked anybody he wanted.
He absolutely did.
Legally, like they just give it up. You know, wasn't it Chappelle that talked about him?
That fucking skit where he came over and played basketball and he made him pancakes.
Charlie Murphy. That was Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy, yeah.
Love Charlie Murphy.
He's talking about how him
rest in peace.
Yes, and Prince. Fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean, the basketball game and then pancakes after, and it's like,
you know, I've heard that's real though. Like that Prince could ball.
He could.
Yeah, he was a you know, I listened to an athlete interview he did. Prince was saying, and he was saying when he learned how to play the piano, and he said the more he got good at things, the more people kept asking for his services. So that's why he just kept getting good at almost everything he touched. If you listen to like celebrities and their encounters with Prince, he would do weird shit with him, but like just beat him in weird ways.
Oh my
like
God,
he beat Jimmy Fallon.
Yes, that's what I was about to say with like ping pong.
In ping pong, yeah. And then what did he say? He said the last shot was like magic, like hit a special
yeah, I remember that shit.
Flew off, and then he disappeared.
Yes. And Jimmy turned around and he was just gone.
Dude, what a fucking... That dude is such a beast.
But, well, doesn't Charlie Murphy tell that story of playing basketball? He's like, he was still in heels and fucking killed everybody.
Dude, but if you look back at the movie Purple Rain, which I was young enough when we were young that came out. But if you watch it now and you look at, like, watch it and look at Prince on that motorcycle. He
tiny.
is so small.
So tiny.
That motorcycle, and he had to pick the biggest gold wing out at the time and paint it purple. He looks like a little G.I. Joe action figure on an adult-sized motorcycle.
He does, but that man knew how to play the piano, the drums, the guitar.
Oh, dude, people underestimate him as a guitarist. That motherfucker is one of the best of all time.
Play that shit.
Yeah,
dude, he'd play his guitar, rip off his little shirt, his little blouse. He'd rip his blouse off, show his little chest hair,
and his six-pack,
and bitches throw bras.
Fuck yeah.
Damn underpants sticking to the damn stage.
Purple Rain, he was like kind of jacked too. Like he had
he was always in good shape, but it would be, my point is, it would not just be the women. You'd find these rogue ass pairs of whitey tighties coming up on the stage of damn dudes with shit stains, like just
going commando.
Yeah. You'd have 5 pairs of panties like thongs, and then one shit streaked ass pair of whitey tighties from Fat Bill in the back that
waving.
Just couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Part of the damn Prince trance.
You ever see Jamie Foxx talk about Prince?
No, but Jamie Foxx is one of those guys. I love that you bring him up. Makes me sick. He's so talented. Yeah. He can sing. He can play the piano. He's a fucking award-winning actor. And he's a fucking funny-ass motherfucker. Give away some of that talent. Give me some of that.
And he's a dime piece.
And he's good look. You got too much talent.
Yeah.
Give me some.
He was saying he was with Prince. He met Prince for the first time, and he was mesmerized by his eyes and stuff like that. It's like staring into a deer.
Yeah.
I think I have seen that.
And he's talking to the bodyguard, and he's like, "How do you deal with this?" He was like, "I don't know. I've been fucking him for the past 5 years." And
shit, I do whatever he says, baby.
Whatever.
Damn,
That's
I love
hysterical.
That. All right, so we got one more that me and you have to ask. This is for me and you, Aaron. Is Randall and Aaron, how did you know that your wives were the one for you? So we got to end it on a nice, emotional, romantic level.
There you go.
When I seen my son be born, I think that was a defining moment, because we had kids before the marriage.
Oh, so did we.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to know.
Let's really be sure.
Yeah.
I was there for both my kids being born. Like, I watched them come out the womb and everything, and I just, they say some men faint and they need a towel and stuff like that, but I stood there and watched my son's weird head come out of my wife, and I was like, wow, that's powerful.
That's savagery.
It is.
Whoa, like, this is, and then she got up and went to the bathroom afterwards, and I was just like,
gangster.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Brooke they had to do a quick, like, emergency C-section on her for Gunner. And I was in there, like, I watched them saw her in half and, like, pull her guts out and sit them on her stomach so they could get to him. And
I'm like, take a fucking picture when they take him out.
And pull him out. And then all that happens, and that's fine. And it was gross and awesome all at the same time. And then we're back in the room. They stitch her up or glue her up and everything. And she goes to the bathroom like you just said your wife did the first time. And I remember walking by the bathroom right after, and the horror movie of what was on that toilet.
The blood.
The murder scene made me be like, women are so much better than men. They're so much tougher.
It's a disaster down there.
I would pass out. Like, I would be like, okay, obviously I'm dead. If this much blood is coming out of me, I'm deceased.
It's a nightmare.
I'm talking about, like, I remember his head coming out, and at that moment, I understood why the vagina looked the way it looked. And it was just like everything was stretched out. All that extra skin down there was stretched. And I'm like, that's what it's for. I understand.
The light bulb went off. Like, I get it now.
It's crazy. It's crazy that sumbitch goes back to...
right back to where it
was. For size for our tiny wieners.
It's a miracle. Yeah.
Blows me away that it goes back to being able to...
I do not have an 8-pound wiener.
Me either. Not even close. Hell no.
I commend you for going down there and looking and just seeing it for what it is, like the beauty of childbirth, and not being like, I gotta have sex with that later. Like,
no, I needed to see this shit firsthand.
Yeah, that's how I would be too.
The second time I was a little more cool, like, all right, I understand what's going on.
You knew what was coming. At least, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that's a miracle ass experience. craziness.
Yeah, I didn't get
it's
to do.
very powerful. It's very powerful. I truly commend women for that, because we all get here like that.
Oh yeah, no
Every
shit.
last one of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, are you and your?
You didn't answer.
Oh yeah. All right. Well,
Hello.
I feel bad now because Aaron's is such a
poetic,
such a philosophical, beautiful answer.
Philosophical.
And now I feel like I'm a bad dad because mine has nothing to do with our kids.
It was before the kids?
No, it was way before.
Yeah.
For me, me and Brooke both been married before, and I was pretty miserable in my marriage. I don't want to speak for her, but I think she was too. So I did speak for her. But when I first saw her, there was, and everyone can call me Tom Hanks because I'm about to make y'all cry.
I've said this, yeah.
But as soon as I saw her, I felt like I was at home, which is weird. Like she's my home base. She's my back from good or bad, like my center place. And I didn't feel that way with anybody before that. Yeah. And I wish everyone could feel that, because I know friends that are in relationships where I know they don't feel at home with their spouse. And so they clearly fuck around and all that. But it takes all the pressure off me because she's definitely my home base. So I got to pick the right one the second time. So
I like that.
I'm seeing that, like, some people, they say their second marriage is the charm, or the third. Like, my father's been married like 3 times.
Man, your dad and my dad need to hang out. Those two guys, I bet
need to catch
down
a drink.
in Georgia. My father's in Georgia.
Oh, really?
I bet your dad.
Randall's dad's in South Carolina.
I bet you they've run through some of the same women together, or they're Eskimo. I bet they're Eskimo brothers.
Probably is.
Did you say your dad's in Marietta?
He's in Marietta.
Yeah, that's right down the road, man. That's right down the street.
That's where he's at.
That's funny.
Down there, close to Smyrna.
Fuck yeah.
Smyrna.
Yeah.
Dude, if y'all really ever do, like, any of y'all ever get down here, and we gotta get together and hang out. Y'all can come here. We'll record a show at his house if any of y'all come down to Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Do a
What
big
is it called?
ass.
Smyrna Powder Springs.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, Marietta, Smyrna, Powder Springs, they all run into each other somewhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where he's at.
We're just a little bit north of there.
Well,
But, I mean, like, there's parts of our town that run right into Marietta.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I like Marietta actually. The town, the little square there in Marietta's come a long way. That motherfucker's blown up.
My dad's scared. He's scared. He's like, I mind my business. I got my Navy veteran tag on the back of my car. He's like, I don't bother nobody. I go home.
Oh.
Oh man. Well, man, we're gonna wrap it up because we're about, what are we?
I don't know, baby.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half in, man.
Sweet.
I don't want to hold you up forever, but
Good
this
time.
has been the shit.
Times.
This has been the funnest. This might have been the funnest one I've ever done. Laughed my ass off.
Exactly. Tell Larry and I'm better than them.
Oh yeah. Well,
all guys.
I can't wait to hear Larry talk about what he thinks of this episode.
Well, we gotta get
one more thing. Because I don't really care what they think. We had the last episode where you guys were commenting about us at the corkscrew when I was eating and stuff like that. And yeah, they do they talk their little smack or whatnot. I let them have their jokes every once in a while. But I can easily like flame them any time of the day.
Oh yeah.
So it's just there's just no point of like I just try to let them have their laughs or whatnot.
Yeah.
But trust me, like there's an arsenal of jokes ready for each and every one of them if they ever get out of line.
Oh, dude, old Daniel, we were watching back episode 48 on YouTube, and y'all were roasting Larry's ass about building the website, and Daniel was being like, what I loved about what Daniel did was it was such a low key roast. Like he was like, God, this is shitty. He's like, this looks terrible, Larry. How long did it take? And Larry's like, man, I fucking worked 2 days on it. He's like, man, that's subpar. It doesn't do anything. And you guys are just slowly picking at him until Larry, you watched the defeat in his face, and he was like, fuck it, man, we're taking the website down. Website's going to go down.
Daniel's like the only one that really gets on Larry or whatnot. Like
he was a savage
when he's not with me every now and then. Like
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, but there was nothing like Larry was proud of that shit. He was like, in the intro, he was like, man, I worked my ass out this weekend. I got the website up and running. We got the new merch page on it. We are ready to rock and roll. And Daniel was like, this website? Really? This is what we're going to go with? Okay. Looks like, what's that, Miss Pac-Man on there? What's happening? And fucking poor Larry. I love Larry, man. I love all you guys. We're big fans.
We're big fans of y'all too, man. I was just with Stephanie and all them. They're very happy to hear about you guys.
Yeah, we love Stephanie, and we want to have her on too. We've talked a few times about having her on. She makes me laugh, just her laugh.
When she snorts, I die because I do that when I if something's super funny, I'll snort before
yeah, she has to build up y'all's ego, so because y'all get her laughing good, shit. That's the shit right there.
She loves those dirty jokes, and that's because I miss them. I miss them a lot. But when I know she's laughing, I was like, oh, there's a dirty joke there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I'll try to go back and think about what it was. I'm like, oh, Stephanie caught that way before me.
Well, yeah, and before we go, I actually have one more question I didn't write down, but it's about... We've actually watched some of your stand-up that's out there on video, and you do stand-up. Larry does stand-up. Has Brian tried it, or does he do it? I know he does trivia
Brian
hosting.
Does trivia. Brian, look, I'm happy. We've never seen this side of Brian before. He's a lot more out of his shell, and he's about to start this sports podcast.
Yeah, I'm proud of him for that. That's awesome.
So they say he's just breaking out his shell. I would love for him to get on stage. I would love for everybody to at least try it because you never know who's extremely funny. You can't look at somebody in the face and know they're funny. Mm-hmm. You just can't.
No.
It's impossible. Because I know this from doing numerous comedy shows. You'll be talking with somebody and they'll be like, hold on, give me a second. And they go up on stage and make everybody laugh. Mm-hmm. So... I think everybody should. You definitely, Randall. You need to get on stage. You need to at least tell them that Target joke.
The damn shitting story.
Listen, that barrel roll in the Target. That's gold.
Well, it's even better when he has when you can see him tell it with the
physical nature of it.
Yes,
and
the
stuff.
hand gestures and the motions.
If it's that funny on audio, it's going to be even funnier in person.
Yeah, but that's my thing I wanted to ask you is how fucking scary is it the first time you do it? Which I'm sure it's a rush, but man, that fucking scares the shit out of me.
I'm from kitchens. My main profession is I'm a cook.
Okay, cool.
So I perform in front of people all day. All you do is there's a whole lot of ball busting in kitchens.
Oh, for sure. I worked in restaurants, and it's just like the movie Waiting. If you ever watch that, the guys in the kitchen are fucking crazy.
Well, the guys in the
funny.
kitchen pretty much run everything.
Of course, nothing happens without them. For sure.
It's just my comedy. I like to attribute all my comedy to the lunch table. Nice. Being in school, the lunch table is where everything. If you didn't have your shirt ironed or anything, you had to deal with everybody at the lunch table roasting on you. So I think by me surviving that is where I got enough courage to go on stage. I'm not scared of any audience or any strangers that I don't know.
Sure.
It's the ones I had to go to school with or work with every day who had to roast, who had material on me all day. Those are the ones that used to scare me. So getting on stage is nothing for me.
That's true. God, man, I remember one time I fucked up and wore some fucking Birkenstocks with socks to school.
What?
Oh,
in the 10th grade, and
Why?
all of my black friends I was wanting to check out of school and go home. Fred and all them were like, what in the fuck? Dude, don't come near us today. You can't even sit with us. I can't even fuck with you today. What were you thinking? I was like, man, I'm sorry. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
You know what an S-curl is?
S-curl?
Yeah.
No, what's that? I'll probably know once you tell me.
Okay, back in the 80s and 90s, all the R&B singers used to have their hair like Genuine. Remember Genuine's hair?
Okay, now I know exactly what you're saying. Yes.
It took a perm, but it was called an S-curl.
Ooh.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Genuine is perfect example of an S-curl. Yep.
Okay.
It looks amazing the first day. It looks amazing. The first day you look great. But after you actually wash it with shampoo, it like frizzes out. So I was looking like Pookie from New Jack City.
Oh shit!
Oh man!
And I went to school, and it was terrible.
Hey, well, I'm gonna come out with one just because that's funny as shit. But my best friend growing up was Anthony Clemens. You know, Tone Clemens, and he's a local rapper out of Colorado, or he was, and he was my best friend. We did everything together, and he would always put on his stocking and his shit to put in his hair to get waves.
Yeah.
When we were kids, to get his waves right. And his mom would always talk to him, you know, edge him up. You know, there's a different lingo with black guys in their hair. It's very meticulous.
Yeah.
Like, or it was with my friends.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, man, I'd be like, why are you wearing that ridiculous ass do-rag to bed? And he'd be like, man, that's my waves. I gotta get my waves right. And so then I got jealous. I was like, shit, I want waves.
Oh no, baby.
No,
you didn't.
I was like, man, I want some waves. And he was like, man, Randall, I consider you almost black. All right, we're gonna put some waves.
Doesn't matter. Shit. Your hair is not the same.
I know.
But what did you use, Murray's?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were young kids, but his excuse, and he would tell the story even better than me, was, you know, we were big basketball fans, and Rex Chapman was a white guy that played basketball, and he was like almost a black guy, like he very in his demeanor, and everyone thought of him as that. And so Tone would be like, man, Randall, you're like Rex Chapman, man. And Rex got some waves in his hair. Let me edge you up and get you. And you just can't do that to a white guy's hair.
Especially your hair.
My hair was so thin from birth. I mean, I'm bald now.
Thin and, yeah, if it was anything like Gunner's.
But for that hour, when I had on the do-rag and whatever those chemicals were in my head.
What the fuck?
And he edged my lines up. Like a black guy, when they line, you know, they do their brow, and it's very edge important, different than white hair. And he edged me up, and my shit looked like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
I was just about to say, like,
because when you edge up a white guy, it doesn't look the same. I'm sorry, it just doesn't look the same. But you know, you edge up a black guy,
completely different hair.
A black guy, when they get a clean cut, right? Like all my friends, they could be in the worst mood on earth, but they go into their barber shop and get like a clean edge and their beard tightened up and shit. They come out like they won the lottery. It's a game changer.
I wish you had a picture.
But he fucked my hair all up. That's the story of that. I mean, he fucked my shit all up. Man, I wanted some waves though.
Not happening.
We had some white kids in our school with some real fresh lineups. Like, you know, you'd like buzz it a little bit and then line it up real nice. And
you'd have to have like a certain consistency.
Yeah,
of hair,
my hair is so thin and raggedy from birth. I mean, I was just given a horrible head of hair, so there was nothing to it. Like a thicker head of hair.
Yeah, you could.
You know,
do
like
that.
a lot of guys, like Adam Sandler, that can grow.
Yeah.
You know, like a Jufro they call it. But you could line that up real close.
But yeah, not yours.
But not mine. My shit. I look like Jim Carrey, straight up. The old bowl cut.
Oh my.
Well, all right, brother, man. We're gonna let you roll, man. But we really appreciate it. This has been a blast, man.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
Your next shots, man. You should try some muscle vodka. If you head on over to www.musclevodka.net and use my promo code MuscleADUB, that's MuscleADUBB, you can get 10% off. So,
Boom.
you know.
Muscle
Hey, well,
vodka.
where else can everybody find you? What's your all your social media stuff?
They can find me at ADAT Comedy. That's ADAT Comedy. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Ironical Artistry. I know you talk about Ron, right? My company is called Ironical Artistry, and that's AARONICAL Artistry, and that means pertaining to the priest Aaron.
Oh, nice.
So
wow.
Well, we'll put all that in the show notes too, and links to all that and everything for you.
Yep.
Or when I say we, that means Brooke.
Right. Yeah. I love.
Because she does all that good shit.
Thank you, Brooke. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, brother. This has been a blast, man, and we'll talk
you so
to you guys
much.
again soon, brother. But
Yeah, we're coming on Drinks with Larry whenever he's better. Hopefully.
You know, we love you guys on there every time.
all right, brother. You have a good night, man, and give our love to your family.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Take
brother.
care.
Bye.
See ya. Man, that was fun.
It was. Did you stop?
No, we're still
You
recording.
were messing with the computer. I
No, I was
can't see
going
it.
to, but then thought we'd just go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, because we did
That was such a fucking blast.
That was fun. I love him.
I hate to hate to down everybody, but I think that was the most I've laughed.
I know. My stomach hurts.
Of everybody
and
that we've ever had.
I'm so hungover.
Well, I big boyed you a lot on that episode. I just pushed you out of the way a lot.
I barely talked because you just...
I'm going to say it's because I knew that you didn't feel 100%. That's not the truth. But
no, it's because you just love to hear yourself talk.
No, because I love A.A. Ron.
He's
fucking hilarious to me.
I know. No, he is super hilarious.
I knew it the first time we talked to him. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But he is... We would be best friends, too, for sure. He's right up there. We're boys. But how'd you like that? I don't think I even told you about that wave story.
No, you've never told me that. It's hysterical. Where's the fucking pictures?
I don't know, and I would burn them. But I had a San Antonio Spurs
Anthony
starter
Clemens
jacket.
fucking post pictures, if you can find them, of Randall's wave. Fuck's sake. I need them in my life.
I got to give him props. He tried.
Bless him. He should have just felt your hair and been like, this isn't going to work.
Oh, he pretty much, I remember his mother was like...
Right. He was really just trying. He's like, we can do this.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's so funny.
Well, that was a great episode. So I hope you guys enjoy it and check out A.A. Ron on Drinks with Larry.
Yep.
Quick shout out, of course, to Familia at Drinks with Larry, Po' Boy Podcast, Jody B.
Yeah.
Love him. Check out his new episode with Doug from Who's Right Podcast. It just dropped. Fucking funny.
Yeah.
Fire tits. And
Blunt
Mommy. Amanda. And her little dick peg guy in the mouth.
What?
Dude.
Did they recorded an episode?
I haven't heard it yet, but yeah.
I just saw where she was going to record it, and I haven't seen it posted yet, but...
Yeah, so check her out. # No Offense Show.
Yep.
Cinemondo.
Yep.
No More Brand X.
Rest in peace. Until John finds a new co-host. Come on, guys. Somebody wants to be a co-host with John.
Yep. Murderish. Love them.
Jamie.
So, all the usual suspects, but you guys enjoy your evenings. Butt fuck each other a lot and go fuck yourself.